Hello there, John McLauchlan here with another Tabletop Talk. Welcome, this is episode 2. We've just got started with these talks and I think we're going to find them really useful in the coming months ahead. So today I want to start with a bit of a story. Going back to about 2005, a friend of mine, we were asked by a local community member to start a karate club. And karate is what I've been doing for the last 35 years now. And he said to us, we've got some kids in the area, need a bit of guidance, certainly needed a bit of discipline. Can you come over and start a karate club? So that's what we did. And very quickly, we went from zero to having quite a successful club with lots of members, lots of activity in a fairly short period of time. Now, don't get me wrong, it was great teaching the kids. It was great to see them develop and build up all the skills that you get with martial arts. But really what I wanted was to teach adults. If anyone knows anything about traditional karate, it's all about, taking things further. And there's only so much you can do with kids in terms of martial arts. So I changed my marketing a little bit, changed things up, and slowly but surely, we started to attract adults. We started to get the parents of the children. They came in. And what really struck me was one particular day. Let me turn this off a minute. Just get rid of my Skype. Hang on. Okay, so one particular day, a guy came in and he was a successful business guy and he wanted to start karate, so we got him started. And it was about 6 months later, I got the video cameras out and I wanted to film everybody to do a promotional video. And one thing he said really struck me more than anything else that had happened. And he said, even though he was a successful guy, he said if he went to parties, he'd always kind of try and hide away in a corner and not really speak to people and was a little bit shy, which I was quite surprised about. And he said, the difference between starting karate and where he is now 6 months later in terms of his confidence has been amazing. It's changed everything for him. He no longer hides away. He's quite happy to speak to people in public. And that is just from going through the process of teaching him karate and developing his skills and his confidence. And that's what I want to speak to you today about. It's about confidence. And the fact is that we always think that it's the younger, more impressionable people who lack in confidence. And the truth is that we as adults, because we go through our journey of life and we get the knocks and we get the emotional turmoil and we get that sort of thing, is that we're the people that lack confidence, and we're the people that, especially guys, okay, guys, we like to be big and brash and we're fine, nothing, we're absolutely fine, and it's guys who are the biggest people that lack in confidence, but covered over. So we have a very good veneer at covering over our insecurities and our lack of confidence. And let me tell you, if you go into business or if you go and start something with that in mind, covering up your own real beliefs and your real values, having the lack of confidence but believing yourself, that you are confident, then you're going to set yourself up to fail. Okay, so this tabletop talk is all about how do you increase confidence. Okay, really important. And if somebody who is confident, and you might look at them and you think, I wish I was as confident as them. I wish, when I started something, they had that determination, they were going to follow it through, and everything that they seem to do, they seem to be successful with. And it's really, again, going back to the mindset of how you approach something. Okay, so how do you get more confident in what you're doing? And it's a series of skills, and it's a journey that you're going to take, and it takes you going outside of your comfort zone. So this is why when people start karate or martial arts or something new and succeed with it, that's when the confidence builds. And it's all about having little wins along the way. Okay. So the first thing you need to do is really be honest with yourself and identify with yourself. Really, who are you? Who are you? What is the person you really are? And, we have to get back into, remember that podcast that I put together, reprogramming your mind for success. That podcast is powerful, powerful information. The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, again, powerful information. JT DeBolt, what he talks about in the Mobe Daily Power Up calls, it's all there to help you to help you identify you and for you to become a better person, because that's what it's all about. Okay, it's fine going on and building a brand new business and being really successful, but if you're still that kind of slightly shy, slightly fragile person on the inside, then something could come along and it could knock you and take you all the way back to where you started from. Okay, so building up a successful business is all about building you first of all on the inside. And again, that's what Secrets of the Millionaire Mind book talks about in terms of your financial blueprint and going forward. So who are you? Write down who you think you are, okay, and kind of what the real you is in situations. Are you the sort of person that is confident on the outside, but inside you're kind of a little bit nervous, a little bit frightened, a little bit unsure about new situations, meeting new people? Some people are even nervous about answering the telephone. Okay, this is why text messages took off, because it took that burden away from people. So think about the kind of person you really are, and then be honest with yourself. Ask your family and friends and say to them, in a situation, do I do this or do I do that? And again, ladies, very upfront, very open. Ladies have their own communication system between each other. They counsel each other, and men don't. And that is clearly evident because suicide rates among men is unfortunately much higher than it is with ladies, because of that fact. Because men have to be the alpha male. The nothing can hurt me. I'm going to look after my wife and my kids, and really sometimes it can be them who this affects. Okay, so find out who you are. Okay, find out the real person you are. Okay, so with that in mind, let's say you've identified that you need more confidence, and let me tell you, everybody needs more confidence. The other thing is, some people are a little bit overconfident, which can also come back as a trait of a lack of confidence because you're overcompensating for the way that you feel. So how do you gain confidence? Well, as we always say within everything in business, everything happens, all development, all learning, all success happens when you go outside of your comfort zone. That's really what it's all about. So you see, high-powered business people, jumping out of a plane for no other reason than to really push the limits of their own mental ability. Okay, so what can we do? Let's say public speaking. Okay, let's say public speaking is something that scares you to death. Okay, you'd never want to do it. Okay, you would rather be put in a tank full of rabid sharks than do public speaking. So give yourself small advances towards doing it. Okay, what are people really scared of when it comes to business? Well, let's talk about talking on video. Most people hate talking on video because it's kind of attributed in some sort of way to public speaking. But right now, I'm in the office talking to you. There's nobody going to jump out and try and kill me. Even though inside, if you've got a lack of confidence, that is the thoughts and the beliefs that you're bringing into you inside. You think that you're going to be attacked. You think there's going to be some sort of imminent threat because it's very primitive. The different side of the brain takes over. The amygdala or the amygdala, whichever way you want to pronounce it, takes over, and there's nothing we can do about it unless we go outside of our comfort zone and we train our brain over and over again through a process that it's okay. And by doing so, okay, so let's say your fear is talking in public or talking on video, then just do it. Okay, do maybe 30 seconds, put a little timer on there, 30 seconds. I've got to talk on video and then I'll stop. And okay, I had a little win. So then we'll do a minute and then we'll carry on. And then we'll do it in front of an audience. I mean, crikey, I remember when Facebook Live came out and they said, okay, it's Facebook Live. And I went, there's no way on this earth I'm going to do a Facebook Live based on the amount of outtakes I do when it comes to video. And if you've seen them, there is actually a video that I put out of all my outtakes, which is quite funny. But, 3 or 4 years ago, I did a degree in filmmaking. So I liked everything to be perfect. And people don't really like perfect. People just like you to be you. And, Facebook Live came out and I thought, well, how can you edit? If you make a mistake, what happens? Okay. Well, the fact is, if you make a mistake, people like the mistakes. People like you to be you because you're human. Okay. So you go off and you do a Facebook Live. My very first Facebook Live, I was sat in this office. I put my phone on the tripod just there and I hit go and I thought, you're live. You've got to do it. Just talk. And those Facebook Lives were some of the best talks I've ever done because it was very off the cuff. It was very free flowing. People were on the call answering questions, and it was great. And before you know it, you've done 25 minutes. So again, moving forward, little wins. One of the things I think really that people sometimes are scared about is confrontation. And confrontation, again, can be something very primitive. When somebody gives you eye contact, okay, so I'm looking at you right in the camera right now. So let me just show you something. This is what we used to do at training, okay? So we would get together like this, okay, and we would say, take a step forward. So we'll take a step forward like this. Crikey, somebody who's looking at me in the eye. What's going to happen now? Take another step forward. And take another step forward like this. Okay. And then everybody would start laughing and giggling and carrying on because it's a nervous reaction. We have this nervous reaction. So you think about taking that a stage further where you're looking somebody in the eye, you shout at them, and then you go and try and punch them in the face. Okay. All under controlled conditions, by the way. And this is why people gain in confidence. So for you as a business owner, maybe if you avoid eye contact, maybe start giving people eye contact and then hold the eye contact longer. So it's just a little bit outside your comfort zone, like I'm doing now, which is way too long. Because if I was doing this to you in public, I think it would be a bit weird. Okay. But just maybe if you're passing somebody in the street, then look at them, okay, and see what they do. Do they look at you and look down? Do they look at you and hold the gaze? Because it will tell you a lot about somebody. And it's all about assessing people and finding out what people are about, all about you gaining confidence and getting those little wins. The other thing I do on a regular basis is just say good morning to people. Just say good morning. Because what you'll find is that not only will you be able to gain your confidence by actually not just confronting somebody, but just by being in the presence of somebody, and then you're able to change the state of that person. It's amazing. Somebody be walking along, let's say for example it's 6 a.m. in the morning, and people are always a little bit on edge because if there's nobody else around, they're a little bit worried about their own security. Okay, so you look them in the eye, morning. Oh, it's a nice person, morning. And then we go about a day. Okay, so it's all about not only increasing your confidence, but controlling other people or changing the state, changing the way other people react to you. Okay, so it's all about these little wins. So, when we go online, okay, and we start a new business, if we're lacking in confidence, then what's going to happen is because we don't really know, it's like we've got no previous experience about an online business, you are going in on blind faith. And you don't know if what you're looking at is true, what you're looking at is bad, whether it's a scam, whether you're going to have all your money taken out of your account. You just don't know because you don't know. And that's one of the things I know as a business coach. I know exactly what the process is. I know what's going to happen, but you don't. And it's up to me to be able to tell you. So if you get those little wins as you go through the process, okay, so you go from step 1 to step 2 to step 3, and all the time you're gaining confidence, you're learning new things. Then by the time you get to the end of the steps or the end of the process, your confidence builds up and you go, actually, I understand now what this is. I didn't before, but now I do. And your confidence goes up as a result. Okay. But and that is the constant process. This is why, reading all those books that we talk about, looking at the different resources, my podcast, because it's all helping you to gain your confidence. And if you go forward in a business and let's say you have a little wobble, if your confidence is down here, it doesn't matter if you know what the business is, doesn't matter if you understand the facts and figures, if your confidence is down, a little wobble is going to take you off the tracks. And you're going to be going from one step a day, and you're going to go all the way back to either giving up, to going back to your own values and beliefs, thinking it'll never work, and you'll never move forward. And believe you me, confidence, and what we spoke about on series 1, episode 1 of these talks about fear, is going to keep you in the same place, because you're never going to be able to move forward if you don't understand, one, who you are, and if you don't take an active role, a proactive role in actually going forward and increasing your confidence. And let me tell you, if you do these things, if you go outside your comfort zone, if you start to learn new things, then your life will change. Quite literally, your life will change. And it doesn't matter what's happened in the past. Okay. And I know a lot of people say this, well, this happened to me and that happened to me, and you don't really understand it. Yeah, I do. Because, that's life. Life is pretty tough sometimes. And I don't know anybody who hasn't got a story to tell about, life kicking them in the pants, because that's what life does. Okay. But we have to get up and we have to move forward. And, our confidence over time sometimes will take a knock, but it's up to you to build it back up again. Okay. And build it, you will. Build that confidence up and, just keep moving forward. And what I would say, is have the faith that you can do this, because anybody can. I've seen some people come through, not just karate, not just business, not just, being a successful police officer, is what I used to be. I've seen people be successful based on being confident and not having the intelligence level higher than probably an IQ of a brick, okay? But because they've had the confidence level and they've moved forward, they're able to progress forward. And, sometimes for intelligent people who just lack confidence, who just can't seem to make that shift forward, it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating sometimes when we see, people with less ability moving forward and making lots of money online, going, they're the next $100,000 earner, because they were able to make that shift, because they just went forward, they did what they were told to do, their confidence built, and they went on and became successful. You can do it, okay? And I have every faith that everybody watching this, everybody, in my team, everybody who isn't in my team, but watch this, you can be successful. I guarantee it. That's down to you. Okay. I'm going to leave you with that. Again, there were this is the second edition of Tabletop Talks. There was going to be a lot more talks. I put these talks on every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, currently 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That may change, depending on if you can see it live. And I always recommend if you see it live as well. So, make the changes, make the suggestions. The information is there for you to use. Go and use it. Go and be successful. I'll see you on the other side. Bye for now.